your chairmanship. I'd like to congratulate the honourable member for Falkirk for securing this very important debate. As many colleagues will probably already know, before I was elected to this place last year, I spent 25 years working in the oil and gas industry, as many of my constituents still do. The oil and gas industry is still a major employer in my constituency of Banff and Buchan, as is the supply chain which supports it. Almost half the UK's oil and gas makes landfall by pipeline in my constituency. The Forties pipeline system, which has been mentioned previously, comes ashore just outside the coastal village of Cruden Bay and carries about 30% of the UK's oil. St Fergus, just a few miles up the coast, is the location of the St Fergus gas terminal, through which 25% of the UK's gas is imported through 3 different pipelines. St Fergus is also the site of a new project currently being developed for carbon capture and storage, a technology that, again, has previously been mentioned. Just a little bit further south, a slightly lesser-known city of Aberdeen, many will know as the oil capital of Europe, rightly so, I must say. Many people from my constituency commute to Aberdeen and indeed from all around the north east of Scotland, not just to the work sites and offices in and around Aberdeen in the constituencies of West Aberdeenshire and Gordon, which I'm sure we'll hear from, but also offshore, travelling to and from the world's busiest commercial heliport at the Dice Airport. At the start of the downturn in 2014, more than 460,000 jobs in the UK depended on the oil and gas sector. Throughout 2015 and 2016, this number fell steadily to a level of 280,000 in 2017, about 40% of which was in Scotland, 60% in the rest of the UK. As we approach the end of 2018, the sector is seeing a cautious increase in employment again for the first time since the start of that downturn. I say cautious because we've been in this situation before, where we've been through a cycle of high oil price followed by a crash in revenue, knee-jerk cost-cutting measures, followed by an equally impulsive return to wasteful spending when oil prices recover. I'm encouraged in conversations that I've had with oil companies in Aberdeen, as well as Oil and Gas UK, the Oil and Gas Authority, again based in Aberdeen, that it feels like the lessons have been learned from the past, but of course time will tell. I would encourage and ask the Minister to take this into account as well in his response. Because even before the downturn in 2014, it was long realised that much of the wasteful and inefficient practices were not sustainable. And the report by Surrey and Wood in 2014 made a range of recommendations on this basis, including a joint government and industry strategy for maximising economic recovery, MER, the creation of a new arm's-length body charged with the effective stewardship and regulation of the UKCS, hydrocarbon recovery and maximising collaboration across the industry. That new arm's-length body, the Oil and Gas Authority, OGA, working with industry, developed the MER UK strategy, and under this strategy, a range of task forces have already delivered huge value. An additional 2.8 billion barrels of oil equivalent to be produced by 2050. That's in comparison with pre-Wood report baseline forecasts. Average unit lifting costs reduced from £19 per barrel to £12 per barrel in 2017, and production efficiency increase from 65% in 2014 to 73% 2 years later. Still a lot of upside there to be had. And through Oil and Gas UK's Vision 2035, it's estimated that the industry could generate £920 billion of revenue to the UK economy. By 2035, two-thirds of the UK's primary energy is predicted to still be produced from oil and gas, 60% of which coming from our own UK resources. Renewable sources of energy will and must continue to grow over that time, but it will not be able to meet the full demand. MER is a strategy that can coexist with a low-carbon agenda. As efficiencies improve, fossil fuels are burned more cleanly, CO2 can be captured, stored and used to help enhance oil recovery. The full transition away from oil and gas may actually be extended while still meeting climate change targets. So, in summary, the future of oil and gas industry is positive, but there needs to be flexibility and openness to change. We've seen support for this from the government, which is very welcome. Transferable tax history was a great good news story from last year's budget and shows how important it is that members of Parliament, especially those representing constituencies in the north east of Scotland, speak up for the oil and gas industry. According to Oil and Gas UK, TTH is one of a range of policies that can help the industry realise up to £30 billion of future investment opportunities. I'll just conclude by asking the Minister to provide, if possible, any update on the decision on the sector deal that's already been mentioned. That would be most welcome. Thank you.